Welcome to the Pisces reading for January 2021. We're going to look at the past, present, and future energies. This is a general reading, so it may not resonate for everyone. The overall energy for the reading is the Strength card in reverse. In your past energy, we get the Death card, the Eight of Coins in reverse, and the Queen of Wands in reverse. In your present energy, we get the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Three of Swords in reverse, and the Five of Wands. In your future energy, we get the Five of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. So to get started, let's look at your past energy. So Pisces, it feels like either there's been a recent death of a relationship, or maybe a relationship that didn't get off the ground. With this Queen of Wands on the other side of this Eight of Coins in reverse, I feel like so the Queen of Wands is usually sort of a very powerful enigmatic queen. She's just very fiery, passionate, just a powerful energy. In the reverse, that Queen of Wands can be a very kind of reckless, selfish lover, neglectful, that type of thing. So the fact that she's on the other side over here and with that Eight of Coins there in the center in the reverse, I mean, that kind of, talks about like lack of effort in love. So it almost feels like maybe you were with kind of a very selfish person and there was no effort on their part. It was all about them, and it was very hurtful to you, especially with this Strength card in reverse in your overall. That feels to me like you're just completely negative about love right now. It can mean self-esteem issues, and when relationships end, we can sometimes blame ourselves, and that affects our self-esteem. So that could be what's happening here. But just in general, it's just a negative feeling about love overall. So if this Queen of Wands broke your heart, or just maybe you were trying to have a relationship and they put no effort in because they were very focused on themselves, which sometimes is selfish, and sometimes it's just because they have other things going on. But regardless, it definitely feels like you were very brokenhearted over it, especially with this Three of Swords here in the reverse. Now, if it was in the upright in your present energy, I would feel like this was a pretty recent heartbreak and that you were still very, very heartbroken over it. I think you're hurting for sure. But that Three of Swords in the reverse says that you're on your way to healing. Because if you look at this imagery, so I grab this, the imagery on the card is pretty telling of what it means. It means the swords are about to slide out, which means you're on your way to getting over this, essentially. It can also mean it's time to take action in love, which is interesting because it is next to the Five of Wands, which also can mean taking action in love. It almost feels like you've gotten through it, and it's time to move out of this grieving energy into something else. What's interesting about this Seven of Cups in reverse is when it's in the upright, it can mean, oh, you have so many options and so many people to pick from. In the reverse, how do I want to describe it? It can signal like apathy in love and just like a general lack of purpose, but it can also signal that you feel like you have no options. So maybe that's how you've been feeling, no good options, or maybe because of the pandemic, it's just so difficult to date anyway, that maybe that's that general feeling is like, well, I'd love to get through this heartbreak and, get to this action in love, but right now, what do I do? It's like, this Five of Wands could also mean, because it can represent a little bit of conflict. I mean, you may be stuck in this Three of Swords here trying to heal, and maybe you have people in your life who are trying to rush you back into the dating market, like, hey, do Zoom dates, and eventually you'll be able to meet up, but get yourself out there as much as you can. Which, if you're still in a process of healing, I mean, those swords are not all the way out yet, obviously, so that can mean that you're still in that grieving process. But the fact that these are together makes me think that whether you have consciously admitted it to yourself or not, it might be time to get over that Queen of Wands and get yourself back out there as much as it's possible right now. It probably the big option is getting online and just chatting with people and that sort of thing. But so that's what I'm feeling, up through this energy is just that grieving, just negative feeling about love, just that overall, either I'm not ready to do this or there's no way to do it anyway kind of a feeling. What concerns me about is your future energy. And I feel like if you stay stuck with those swords in there and don't allow them to naturally fall out by the process of gravity, aka grieving through this and getting through it, you have this 5 of Cups in your future energy and this 9 of Swords. Now, I wish I had pulled this with the traditional tarot. The 5 of Cups in the traditional tarot is the card with the black cloak figure where, several of the cups are spilled and several still stand with something in them. And to me, it always looks like almost like the death card, but it's definitely a card of grieving what you've lost. But it's also a card of hope. I mean, there are cups still there and they still have something in them. It's trying to signal to you that. So I think in the near future, you're still going to be hurting a little bit, but if you can look to those cups that still have something in them and have hope, and then look at this 2 of Pentacles in that traditional tarot card, it's the juggler and he's got a pentacle in each hand and he's trying to balance things. And I think these 2 cards are, kind of indicating like, yeah, you're still going to be hurting, but I think you're going to, hope is going to start to come out here. You're going to get more balanced. Now, whether that means actually taking action in love and getting back out on the market or what have you, you're at least, I think, going to find more balance between, your heartache and moving on. What concerns me is this 9 of Swords, which also in the traditional tarot, another card that has really, really got kind of a sad, ominous feel to it when you look at it. I believe that's the card where she's sitting in bed, sobbing, and the swords are, hanging up behind her. So I think being sandwiched between these 2 cards, one card of pretty hopelessness and a card that gives you a little bit of hope with that 2 of Pentacles in there in the middle, all about balance. I think Pisces, it's telling you you've got to get out of this strength in reverse. You got to flip that strength card right side up, like this, and find your strength and, your balance in life between, the pain of loss and the need to move on, which again, like I said, is understandably difficult right now, considering the state of the world and, the state of isolation that we all have been forced into in a lot of places. But, even if dating's not an option, look to those standing cups, that hope. And if you can, at the very least, engage with friends and what have you, even if it's not romantic, at least get yourself out of this pit of despair and this just hating on, love in general. And trust me, we've all been there where it's like, I am never dating again. People are horrible. You have to have that hope because, as shitty as a Queen of Wands in reverse is, there's a lot of lovely, Queen of Wands in the upright out there, that type of thing. I mean, people who are more, more balanced and that type of thing. So I would just say, Pisces, I feel your pain. It's pretty much all over this reading, but I do think that an undercurrent in all of this is one of healing, move it on, finding some balance, and then hopefully not allowing yourself to wallow in that Nine of Swords energy, like seeing what you can do, you know, to move this forward. And if that means like reaching out for help, whether it be friends' help or professional help or family's help, it sounds like if you just find yourself stuck and those swords won't come out of that heart of yours, you want to try to avoid just the agony of those two cards and find some balance in your life. So Pisces, I hope that resonated. If it did, please feel free to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.